it's Paul Ryan. I'm going to spend a minute here just putting in context where we're at with our shows. Some time ago, I began with the rise of the streaming world, and then before that, it was record labels and hard copy. And then within the streaming world, which began with Napster and has continued now for a couple of decades, there were undercurrents. So we looked at the rise of 3 or 4 major undercurrents that the streaming world brought along. One was indie musicians, which now I believe contribute, it's 34 or 36%, or something like $5 billion of the recorded music industry. Joined at the hip, of course, with indies is their home studios and the equipment. So the rise of indies and studios and affordable equipment is a huge undercurrent or new trend that's unique to streaming. Then the last few weeks I've talked about AI. Last week the Beatles. They used AI very successfully with a record that they released in 2023. And then before that I talked about potential for AI in different facets of the music industry. And the one with regard to content, creating music content, which is probably the most controversial, still being fought out in courts. So we don't know where that ball's really going to land just yet, but definitely AI is a second major undercurrent that streaming has brought along. Today I'd like to talk about a third undercurrent. When you talk about streaming, most people think about MP3s or music from a DSP or online source. So when I did those shows on streaming, most of the time it was related to digital music downloads. But there's another streaming format which is huge. And it's not audio streaming, but video streaming. YouTube was officially founded February 14th, 2005. And they followed it up with a video, their very first one on April 23rd of that year, when the founders published Me at the Zoo. And it was an 18-second film. But now it's been viewed over 302 million times. So you could probably say that's a legacy film. Today, YouTube has 2.5 billion monthly active users. That's 2.5 billion with a B across the planet. And it's a frequent destination since 47%, basically half of all global internet users, access YouTube every single month. And YouTube is second only to Facebook in terms of visitors. And in the USA, the video channel has 239 million users. And that translates into revenue since its quarterly ad revenue is at 8 billion. I mean, we're talking, that's like rivaling the music industry. It's more than the music industry. It has 40 million paid subscribers worldwide, and it's just over a third of the world's population is able to access YouTube every single month. And I'm looking at a chart here, which you can't see because it's not video, but this is users per month, and its growth from 2006. It began in, as I said, 2005. So a year later, 1 year, it had 20 million users per month. And we'll fast forward here to 2013. It had 1 billion per month. And then 10 years later, 2023, more current day, 2.5 billion every single month users. YouTube currently ranks as the second most visited website worldwide. The only one that receives more traffic is the parent company, Google. In 2023, YouTube is ranked second amongst all global social media platforms. Sorted by the number of active users, it's beaten only by Facebook. There's another online resource where you can get videos, and it's rising like crazy. TikTok. It's now got 1.2 billion users. And that's just after 6 years, when it took YouTube around 9 years to hit that same milestone. In YouTube's earliest days, PCs and laptops were the only real viewing options, but the digital landscape of today has changed that hugely. Since 2005, smartphones and smart TVs have altered how people interact with the world, and with YouTube specifically. It is therefore unsurprising that 63% of all views on YouTube come through mobile devices. Here's a detailed breakdown of international YouTube views by device. Mobile 63%, connected TV is 14%, desktop 12%, tablets are 8, and console is 3.
I wonder what Paul's featured song is today on SoundThreads. Paul, what have you got for us?
Who's That Knockin'? That's our featured song of the week. I wrote the song based upon a miracle, the miracle at Loretto Chapel. In 1878, nuns in Santa Fe, New Mexico, celebrated the completion of a chapel only to find out that it was not functional. It needed a stairway, which was impossible to build given the space and dimensions. So the sisters prayed for days and days, and on the 9th day, a stranger arrived. He was a handyman. He worked alone for months to build the stairs, and then suddenly he disappeared. When it was examined later, it became evident that the stairs had been built without any nails, any center support, and it still stands today with only its own geometric balance for support. Hope you enjoy Who's That Knockin'?
His eyes were fixed way up high, he nodded in dismay. Here he was a man of God, but now he felt betrayed. This chapel was to be a rock in the tiny frontier town of Santa Fe. Sister Celia said to him, "We'll look for help on high. The tradesmen say there's no repair for this ill design. But if we pray and pray some more, just maybe he'll see fit to send a sign." Out of time and out of hope, Loretto Chapel stands. No way to use this troubled place as it rots there in the sand. A knocking noise was heard one night down at the chapel door. There he stood in a beggar's way, his clothes all old and torn. He told the priest he'd built some stairs so the flock could come and pray each Sunday morn. Who's that knocking on the door? A tool bag he has none. He came to help one summer night, then vanished once he done. He set to working hard each day, no visits he'd allow. Each day he'd ply his mystery trade with bended wood and boughs. So quiet was his manner that when all was done he slipped away somehow. Been about 100 years now, the mystery man's been gone. And what he did inside that church, its secrets still remain. Without a nail or craftsman's tool, something modern laws cannot explain. Who's that knocking on the door? A tool bag he has none. He came to help one summer night, then vanished once he done.
And now, here is this week's episode of The Musical Life of Freddie Spaghetti.
One of the larger and newer buildings on Main Street in Cherry Creek is the big red brick medical building. It houses dentists, medical doctors, specialists, and every conceivable type of medical-related service. One of these is Harris Therapy, Freddie's destination this afternoon. Freddie walks into the elevator and punches floor 2. He's still not convinced that this person will really be able to help him as he walks into the office and gives his name to the receptionist. He takes a seat in a big wood-framed couch in the waiting area, and as he sits there, he becomes captivated with the name Sarah Harris. Sarah Harris. The name has a ring to it. Man, that could be made into a musical notation. It's almost like Sarah Harris could be the name of a heroine in a song. Mr. Fred Barton Jr. Okay, here we go, Freddie thinks. The receptionist takes him into an office where Harris is waiting. After introductions, they both sit down and Freddie describes how everything is great, but sometimes on the road, he just wishes he was back at Cherry Creek. The next 40 minutes becomes a mixture of Freddie being defensive, curious, protective, quiet, forceful, and off balance as Harris probes into exactly what he's saying. And after covering a lot of ground, what the psychologist says rattles Freddie. Harris offers that maybe he's just not built for life on the road. Maybe he's happiest at home writing songs, playing the guitar. Maybe the touring and being a star on stage with adoring fans just isn't what makes him really, really happy deep down inside. And maybe the forklift job isn't so bad after all. Freddie argues with each point, each suggestion, and each idea that Harris offers. However, as the talk goes on, what she's saying is starting to make a lot of sense. He leaves the building with his head spinning. Freddie vows that if he ever does sign a new deal, a lot of at-home time has got to be part of it. Sarah Harris is wrong about the forklift job. That's long gone. But she's right about what he enjoyed most about the music life. He likes writing songs. He's happy and flattered to have Delta as a partner. The dilemma boils down to having more time writing and less time on the road performing. Thanks for listening to Sound Threads. Hope you enjoyed it. Next week we'll have a brand new edition, and I hope you'll join us then too.